Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first episode of coverage on our fantasy league this year. Today, we're going to be looking at quarterbacks. I'm going to be ranking everyone from worst to first. The way I'm going to be doing this, just so everybody understands how I'm ranking everything, if you only have one quarterback, I'm probably going to rank it pretty heavily against you. But if you have two going on three, I'll see it. The third one is like brownie points, but it usually won't mean too much just because you'll at least have two starters. But the people that only have one quarterback are probably going to be at the bottom of the list just because at least you have starters when you have two. Without that being said, let's get right into it. In 12th place, we got Man I Love Football, aka MILF. Now, Johnny, I love you, but Russell Wilson is your only quarterback. Come on, man. So, Russell Wilson he's his only quarterback, so he's losing his number one wide receiver in Jerry Jeudy for probably a few weeks. It might not be that bad, but even if the stars all align for Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy and everything works out perfectly, I do not see this holding his team over. I would strongly recommend MILF picks up a new quarterback or trades or does something because, man, this quarterback room is just non-existent. Coming in at 11th place with a similar issue, except this is actually a good quarterback, we got Karen's husband, a.k.a. Brandation. He has just Aaron Rodgers, which is a very good quarterback to have, but only having one quarterback on your team is not ideal. You want multiple quarterbacks on your team, or else you're probably going to struggle late on in the season. But Karen, if you're able to get multiple quarterbacks or pick someone up off free agency, you could probably bounce up this list a few spots. But Aaron Rodgers, I like him. He's a very good player. He's got a new system. I think he'll have a good year. Coming in at 10th place, we got J-Bay's fantastic team. He has two quarterbacks. Unfortunately, they share the same problem. They're dog shit, but at least they have upside. So what he has is he actually has Anthony Richardson and Sam Howell, two very young, and Sam's not a rookie, but both of them are very young. I think they both could have upside, but I personally don't think either of them are going to be that great, especially from a fantasy perspective. Maybe Richardson has something going, but I can't buy onto Howell. I think he has the worst actual quarterback room in the league. Coming in at 9th, I have Rick Tatership, a.k.a. Cree. Now, I'm loving the moves you're making. You definitely are improving at your quarterback position compared to how you started the year. How you got Dak Prescott, that's a good start. You got Jordan Love, who you've had from the beginning. I'm not too sold on him. I don't think he's going to have too great of a year. At least you got Kyler Murray as a third quarterback who might come in and do solid for you later on in the season. But other than Dak Prescott, your QB room isn't looking that great. I'm going to be honest. But it's still a big upgrade compared to how it was when you started the season. Coming in at number 8, we got Gotham Troublemakers, a.k.a. Jackaboy. Gotham has Derek Carr, Brock Purdy, and Kenny Pickett. Carr is probably the definition of average when it comes to fantasy, which isn't that great, but when he's a QB1, that's not a good situation. Brock Purdy and Kenny Pickett could have a lot of upside. However, they have the same problem as Anthony Richardson has. They have not shown it yet. They could be really good from a fantasy point of view, but they need to take a major step forward, which I don't think they're going to do, at least not yet. Coming in at 7th place, this is probably the highest Evan's going to make it on any list. Evan has Justin Fields, Deshaun Watson, and Baker Mayfield. I think Deshaun Watson and Justin Fields have a shit ton of upside. They could be very good this year. On the flip side, they could be very bad. As a Bears fan, our O-line is dog shit, getting hurt every single day. Deshaun Watson, well, he likes to touch people inappropriately. Baker Mayfield, well, it's a backup. It's definitely a backup, Evan. Overall, I think you could bump up a few spots, go down a few spots, but I think Deshaun Watson and Justin Fields could be higher, could be lower overall. Like I said, it just depends on how good they end up doing. I'm liking how Deshaun Watson got Elijah Moore added, and really liking how Justin Fields got DJ Moore added, so they should both improve rapidly from last season. Coming in at number 6, we got Pussy. He's got Geno Smith, Kirk Cousins, and Matthew Stafford. And here's what I look and see as a all-around solid quarterback room. It's not going to win. These quarterbacks aren't going to win him any games, but they're sure as hell not going to lose him any games. These are probably all very rounded, solid guys, but none of them are on that good to great level. Geno Smith balled out last year. He was actually probably ranked, I think, the 5th quarterback, maybe 6th off the top of my head, in terms of total fantasy scoring last year. And even though he is getting Jackson Smith-Njigba from last year, I don't think he's going to do as well as he did last year. I'm just not that big of a Geno guy, I guess. And Kirk Cousins is getting Jordan Addison after losing Adam Thielen. So he might have a better year than he had last year. But overall, I don't see them going too high or too low. I think you have the direct middle of the pack with this room. And now we're coming into the better than average tier. We got Booty Basher at 5th. He has Jalen Hurts and Tua Tagovailoa. Now, I'm loving your quarterbacks if they can stay healthy. I think Hurts will be great for you throughout the year, one of the best quarterbacks overall. If we were ranking just one quarterback, you'd probably be a lot higher on this list. But I'm liking Tua if he can stay healthy. But the problem is I really personally do not think Tua will stay healthy throughout the year. I think he'll probably be hurt multiple times, if not for the entire season at some point. It's just a matter of when. Plus, you don't have a backup quarterback, so I don't think I could have ranked you any higher. I'm actually going to rank myself at 4th. I have Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, and Bryce Young. Josh Allen, I think, is going to be close to undisputedly the second best quarterback in the league. Maybe Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts comes close. I think Josh Allen might be the best quarterback in all of fantasy this year, but we'll see. Daniel Jones, I think he has a lot of upside coming in with his scrambling, and plus he has the addition of Darren Waller. But I do think there's still better quarterback rooms out there. But I still think this is very good, and I think Josh Allen will start winning games, and Daniel Jones can at least hold me over. And Bryce Young, I don't really have much hope for him. He's just kind of a backup, to be honest. Coming in at number 3, we have PMC Wagner, who has obviously Patrick Mahomes, who could be the best quarterback in the entire league. With the addition of Rashee Rice, it could be even higher than it was last year. It depends on how good he does. I don't think Mahomes will do as good as Josh Allen. Then again, I say that every year and get clowned on for it. He also has Jared Goff, who's in one of the highest scoring offenses along with the Chiefs. I think they'll both do very good, have very good seasons. The only reason you're not ranked higher would probably be you don't have a third quarterback, and even if you did, I don't think it would really rank you higher thinking about it, because the guys above you have elite quarterback rooms all around. But these guys will win you games. They'll do very good. I just think there's 2 guys on this list that have done a bit better with their quarterback rooms. Coming in at 2nd place, we got Toxic Zenpai. He only has Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. He has Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. I think if it was just the starter quarterbacks, Toxic, you would be number 1 on this list. But here's my problem with your quarterbacks. My problem is they are both 2 of the most injury-prone quarterbacks in the league. Justin Herbert is coming off of playing with broken ribs, which he might not hurt again. That's very possible. But should either of these guys get hurt, I think your QB room is going to look fucked, to be honest. But if they can stay healthy and you just use those 2, I think they would be number 1. The problem, like I said, is they're both very injury prone, and you don't really have a good backup for them. But Lamar Jackson did get some new weapons. He might be getting a healthy Mark Andrews. He might be getting OBJ coming in. They drafted a rookie, Zay Flowers. So everything should be better for Lamar Jackson than it was last year. And it's the same for Justin Herbert. Not only is he potentially going to be playing more healthy this season, he's also going to be getting his top receivers back. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams both missed most of last season, almost all of it. So Justin Herbert has nothing but upside. On top of that, they also drafted a rookie of their own, Quentin Johnston. So Justin Herbert only has upside. I think this is the best QB duo in the league in terms of fantasy. Number 1, we got Big Yawners. Now, Big Yawners, in a similar situation to Toxic here, has 2 elite quarterbacks that I can see finishing top 5. You have Joe Burrow, who's usually a top 3 fantasy option. And you have Trevor Lawrence, who I think finished top 10 last year. I think he might have finished a bit higher than that. I could be wrong. But either way, he has the addition of Calvin Ridley, which makes him an elite option as if he wasn't good enough already last year. Neither of them have really shown many signs of injury. Joe Burrow's had a few injuries in his career. I don't think he'll have much to worry about. It's just a matter of when he comes back for this first injury he has. But even if somebody gets hurt, the difference between Big Yawners and Toxic is Big Yawners actually has Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup quarterback who isn't the best quarterback. I'm not a fan of Garoppolo in the slightest. However, you could throw Evan in at quarterback for this Raiders team, and he'll probably put up a good 30 points for you in a fantasy week, and here's why. They have the best reception running back in the league when it comes to fantasy, maybe other than Austin Eckler and Josh Jacobs. They have two very good receivers, an elite wide receiver one, arguably the best in the league, in Devontae Adams, and they have Jacoby Myers, who they just brought in, and also they have their wide receiver 3, who's Hunter Renfrow, who was a wide receiver 1 just a few years ago. This team, or this QB room, is absolutely stacked around the board. I think Darth did a very good job with this. I'm going to rank him number 1. And if you guys like this video, disagreed with any opinions, let me know in the comments. Is there something I got wrong? Also, I might be doing a running back one either tonight or tomorrow. So just stay tuned for that. I'll send you guys the links as they come out. See you later.